Hello, ladies and gentle ladies. Welcome back to another Industria development stream. It has been a long time, and last time we did Industria, I said it might not come back. But things have changed. Things have changed since then. But we're actually not going to be discussing those things today because we're actually going to be working on something very different. So, in fact, I suppose we will briefly go through what's changed and why I've decided to come back to Industria, because I'm sure it's a little bit confusing for you guys. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I meant to do that. Okay, so to put it simply, we were stuck with multi-blocks last time. However, well, that was kind of mostly it. The other issue was with the UI stuff, but that's fine. We can leave that alone for now. It's not going to cause us any problems. The big thing was multi-blocks. So the thing is, we had basically two multi-block systems. So they're still here, and I can still show you them. So if it comes, actually kind of not, because I deleted the new one. But so we had this old multi-block system, which would be when you place down the block, it automatically just makes the multi-block. Simple, nice and simple. And that's what we used for the majority of Industria. But I decided more recently I wanted multi-blocks to not work like that. I want them to work the way that you just build them. And you know, that does everything, right? So you just build the multi-block, and then it transforms into the multi-block. So I started work on a new system, but it caused me tons of problems, and eventually I just gave up with it. It just wasn't viable. So what have I done to fix that, you ask? Well, here's the funny thing. So I wanted to see, just as like a test, and it was initially just as a test, to be clear. Like, I just wanted to do it for shits and giggles. I put Codex and Gemini up to the test of creating a multi-block lib. Both of them. I put them head to head. And I wanted to see if either of them could do it. I didn't have any hopes for either of them, to be honest. But Codex did it. And it did it well. So far to the fact that I'm going to use it. Like it performed way better than I thought it would. It has made a library for Minecraft Fabric 26.1, and it's done it. And as I say, it's good. Like it's actually done it really well. There's obviously some like weird quirks in the code itself. I haven't honestly actually reviewed all of the code yet. Hence, you know, I haven't like released this or anything, because I need to go through the whole thing first. I need to just make sure it hasn't done wacky things, which I'm sure it has, but it all works, and it does work very well. And it even has made all of these different kind of shapes that it can use, so you can have like pyramid multi-blocks. In fact, I can show you. So I can run the test mod client. Here we go. Hello Viraps, welcome to the stream. Okay, so let's run the test mod, and basically I'll show you all the multi-blocks it's made, and it's more impressive than you might expect. So we actually have some problems at the moment. So I have been working a little bit the past kind of couple days, week-ish, to try and just clean up a couple things, just fix a couple issues as well. I think somehow in doing so, I have completely broken the test mod. So if I go into, wait, which one's it complaining about? It is complaining about test mod client. So dev.multiblock multi-block lib test mod client. That looks correct. Oh, there is no resources. We have Java, but we have no resources. Oh no, that's correct. Never mind, that's correct. Because that's meant to be like this. That's meant to be in here, basically. Is that right? Yeah, you don't need a resources folder if it's on the client, right? I think we do, yeah, we do elsewhere, which is why I'm a little bit confused. But no, that's fine. I actually don't know why it's saying that. It's possible this is just an outdated configuration, to be honest. It probably is. So let's just try run the Gradle task. But by the title, I just wanted to explain the title. We're not going to be working on multi-blocks today. We are going to be working on something completely different, and that is conveyors. Because currently we just don't have any form of item transportation, and testing things with hoppers is just not fun. So I think we're going to do conveyors today. They shouldn't be too hard, but that could be famous last words. Here we go, run test mod client. This should work. I'm pretty sure this should work. But yeah, before we get to conveyors, we're just going to sort this out. And I mean, I'll also show you Industria itself in a minute. Oh, 1 second. I need to announce to Discord real quick before I do forget. There we go. Okay. What are we doing? Yes. So test mod. Here we go. So if I launch into here, that's fine, I think. Okay, so basically, all of these weird shenanigans here are all multi-blocks. And these are all, well, actually, not all of these ones are ones that Codex has done, but a few of these are. And you can also see it's done ports as well. So, for example, this orange one right here, I think that is... It's not energy, because yellow's energy. Orange is... It's not fluids. Fluids is blue. Items is... Might be items. Yeah, it's items. Okay, orange is items. White is... I actually don't know what white is. Fluid, items, energy. What's the other thing I'm forgetting? Fluid, items, energy. Wait, what the hell is white? I have no idea. We can't see what that is, but yeah, these are all multi-blocks anyways, is how this works. So these are all the different kind of patterns it can use, and then this one here's just like a custom multi-block. So this is like the more custom one that most of them would use. And all of these are variable as well, so they can have like different scales, they can be sized differently. You know, this one, for example, is hollow. And the JSON file for this one simply just specifies like a border block and also like a face block as well. And then you got like this one, there's loads of different ones, right? So I think that's pretty cool, and I'm actually pretty impressed with that. But as I said, that's not what we're going to be doing today. Now, I just need to... Okay, 1 second. I'm just trying to think, because there's one last issue with the multi-blocks, and I want to fix that before we move on today. Because I don't want to commit everything I have right now until it kind of works, and right now it doesn't. So, you know, I'll show you what problem I'm having right now. So this is kind of the biggest problem the multi-block lib is having. And that's rendering the actual multi-block. It doesn't really know how to do that. Makes sense because Mojang is changing their rendering API every 2 seconds. But yeah, it's just a little bit annoying. So I'm probably going to have to do a lot of fixing of that myself. But so if I load into the showcase world here, and here we go. So this right here, this is the oil pump jack. So this multi-block is meant to be the oil pump jack. And when I right-click it with the wrench, it does form into a multi-block. Now, it also renders twice. I don't know why it renders twice. And that's kind of what I'm trying to fix right now. You can see the rest is all fine. It actually seems to be rendering... Oh, no. This is the old one, I think. Yeah, this is the old one. So ignore this one. So it is rendering twice, but it's rendering this one and then also rendering this one. And that's what I'm trying to figure out why it's what it's doing right now. Because I don't know why it's doing that. So I'm just trying to tell it, like, fix that, but it for some reason thinks that the actual item renderer for the pump jack is the block renderer. So I'm trying to explain to it that the item renderer is not the block renderer. This is exactly how it goes with AI coding all the time. By the way, if you haven't done it before, this is all it is. It is just fighting the AI, telling it, no, you're wrong. Okay, so I've just told it that's not the problem. So hopefully this works. And then once this just renders once, then this will work. And then in that case, I can commit this, push this to GitHub, and we can create a new branch for Conveyors. Have you ever worked with post-processing shaders? Don't want to bother, but I do know any lib that can help. I have not worked with post-processing shaders. I wanted to, but the API I wanted to use is not updated to modern versions, unfortunately. I wanted to use Satin API. That's kind of the bog standard generally for post-processing shaders. However, it seems to only be on 1.21.2, I think, as the latest version. Let me actually check that that is the latest version, but I think it is. Oh no, apparently they've got it on 1.21.4. But yeah, that's basically the latest version, unfortunately. So anything newer than 1.21.4, there isn't anything. And there's not really anything you can do about it, to be honest, because Mojang has rewritten the entire rendering API. So unless you want to basically write your own Satin API, which it's doable, it would be very hard, but it's doable. The other option is you could force integration with Iris and then just use Iris shaders. That would work as well. Obviously, that's not ideal for most people. They don't want to do that. But you could do that too. Apart from that, you basically just have to code it yourself, which I could not help you with in the slightest, because I have no idea how you do that. I imagine a lot of mix-ins would be my guess. I should point out, I did just assume you're using Fabric. If you're using Forge or NeoForge, I'm not a Scooby. I genuinely don't have a Scooby in that case. So, yeah. Okay, it reckons it's fixed it. 1 second. Just trying to see if I can actually get this to work. Oh dear. Speaking of AI, I might have a video coming out at some point. Doing just some modding with AI, just to kind of test things out, because I'm curious. I wanted, like, so I know I did the multi-block lib, but it also wasn't completely fair, because I'm not paying for Gemini. So I do want to pay for Gemini for a month at some point. And yeah, see how it goes. You know, put some actual AIs to the test, make an actual mod. But I do have to come up with something. I have to come up with an idea for said mod. And actually kind of test it out. Just see, is AI actually good for modding? Because obviously, I've used it to make a multi-block library, but that is very different. And I can admit that's very different than making an actual mod. So, you know, that's something I'm looking into at the moment. Not that I would recommend it either way. Just to be clear, I wouldn't personally actually recommend you use AI for modding, but okay, apparently it has fixed it. I mean, should we test it? This may or may not just prove my point. Okay. Let's see. Has it fixed it? It has not. Yeah. Wait, it's... What the hell? It's rendering the drill as well. How in goodness gracious earth has it done that? Oh no. Oh goodness gracious. Okay. This is what I'm talking about, guys. AI is not... Sometimes it's not the smartest. And this is why I don't recommend using it. I mean, I'm gonna have a look at what it's done, because now I'm really curious. Like, how has it even... Like, I genuinely can't even think how it's managed that. It's not referencing the drill in here anywhere. That kind of makes me think that, so the lib itself has some rendering shenanigans, so I reckon actually that's probably it. If I go into like here, for example, right? So these are controllers. Okay. I actually don't know. It's done some weird stuff, and it's got weird things kind of hanging around. You know what I can look at actually? Drill model. Frame model. And then if I find usages, we can see where that is, right? Dual block entity renderer. This, maybe? Find usages of this. Okay, maybe it's using the actual renderer. That's using the drill. I don't know, guys. But that's fine. I mean, it's not like a compile error or anything. So yeah, that's just... I'm gonna commit... I mean, I have a lot of changes is the only thing. But I'm gonna commit it all. And we're gonna move on to Conveyors, since that is what we are meant to be doing today. Okay, only thing I need to do as well is add railroad to here, so that is excluded from gets. There we go. And everything else, it's going to be really hard to commit this all, because there are so many changes. I removed the entirety of the old system. I also updated to 29.1 snapshot 9 from snapshot 3, I think. Actually, let's have a look. I'm not sure. Oh, from 1 even. Yeah, from 1. So I went from 1 to 9. Update to snapshot 9 and integrate multi-block lib. It's actually not a bad commit name, huh? Update to snapshot 9. Yeah. I like that. That'll do. Now, conveyors, guys, I don't really know how hard or easy they're going to be. I'll be honest. I think they're going to be easy, but I have some suspicions that we're going to face some problems with them. So, quickly going to publish this branch as well. Not that I need to. I don't need to do that. But I'm going to anyways. Okay, let's also restart that, I guess, because it wants to be updated, so that's fine. Okay, let's close you. Let's also just close all of you. Okay, so let's start. We're just going to start making a normal conveyor. And we'll kind of go from there. So let's go into init. Let's go into block init. And let's just register the conveyor. So we're just going to do the usual stuff to start with. So we're going to have a conveyor, block, conveyor. Pretty simple stuff. I'm going to go into our block package, make a new block. Now, I don't think we're going to want to extend... We might want to extend Industria block here. Maybe. Sure, I suppose we can. There's no harm in doing so. So we just need to pass in a new block properties. And then I have to try and remember how this works. So let's think about what do we want from this, right? So, I mean, we have to think about what is a conveyor, right? Like, what defines a conveyor? So, or more specifically, I guess, how many states do a conveyor have? So, if we think about a conveyor, right? It has a lot of states, realistically. Right? Let's just quickly open up paint.net. Okay, and I will make this black so that you guys don't get blinded. Okay, so if we're thinking conveyors, right? Let's just make them red. Let's make them orange. I don't know. So you can have like a straight conveyor, right? So it just goes straight. You could have right. You could have left. And you could have down. Right? Those are like your 4 basic conveyors. Then you could have like a right turn. You could have a left turn. You could have a down left turn. These are getting worse and worse as they go along. And then you could have a down right turn. Right? Am I missing any? You could also have a left down turn, right? Like that. And a right down turn. You could also have a left up turn and a right up turn. What else? Is there any others? I'm probably forgetting some, right? I mean, this is the kind of thing where AI actually would be useful. Because it can just tell us what all the states would be. Or more specifically, how to define these states. I mean, if we think about this, how would we define these states? Best way to do that probably is have... I mean, you just want an enum, right? You could do it so you have like a start direction and an end direction. Because you also have to consider that you could also have a conveyor that does this. Or a conveyor that does this. Right? Or a conveyor that does this. Or a conveyor that does this. Or you could have a conveyor that does this. A conveyor that does this. You could have a conveyor that does this. Oh god, these arrows are getting terrible. Or you could have a conveyor that does... Trying to figure out, because this is getting a little bit confusing. You could have a conveyor that does that. Right, so I think these are basically all the ones you can have. Unless I'm missing some. So I would say the best way to do this, if I had to model it, or not if I had to model it, but if I had to come up with like how to define the enum, right, that we would use, I would say we have two enum. Well, we have one enum, but we have two properties that use that enum, and we would have like a start direction and an end direction. So basically the start would be like the like for example like this end of the conveyor, and then the end would be this end, right? So we say like this is the end, and then this is the start. That's probably what I would do. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. The only issue with that is... is there an issue with that? No, there actually isn't an issue with that. I was going to say you'd end up with duplicates. But like actually you wouldn't, because you can go straight. So like a start and an end being the same would just be going straight. A start and an end being opposites would be going like back on yourself. Hello Aleatorio, welcome to the stream. So I mean, I think this is probably the best way to do it, but I am going to ask Codex and just see what it thinks. Even if we don't use it to actually code it, we can at least ask it and see what it would suggest as the best solution. So I want to create a... Oh, you know, I will bring this on stream. You guys can watch. In fact, one second. Let me quickly run it untrusted. Okay. So, what are you doing? Right now, we are trying to develop conveyors. Because we're going to have lots of conveyor belts in the mod. Lots of different conveyor belts as well. I want to have like splitters and mergers and all of those things. Because I think that'd be cool. Okay, so let's... Okay, so... Let's ask it. I want to add conveyors to this mod. However, I'm not sure how to define the properties of the block itself. Now, before we start this, I do just want to say that is another level to this. So, on top of this, there will have to be another property that will have to define like a vertical direction, right? Because conveyors can go, obviously, like up at a slant, right? They can go down at a slant as well. So you'd have to have like a... What I would do is probably basically just an indeterminate boolean, right? So you'd have like a up, down, flat, right? But the same as like a... Just like a... You know, something like that, you know? So I want to add the conveyor. I'm not sure how to find the properties of the block itself. I thought about maybe storing a direction for the start and for the end, and then having some kind of indeterminate boolean which defines up, flat, down, which defines the verticality, I don't know, of the conveyor. What do you suggest? Well, actually, should we just ask ChatGPT? That might be better than asking Codex, because Codex is going to start looking for context. We don't really need it to do that. So actually, we're not going to ask Codex. We're going to ask ChatGPT, because I think ChatGPT is also a bit smarter because it's using like a more generic model, right? So yeah, okay, that's fine. 1 second, I am trying to bring this up. Here we go, 1 second. Actually, we'll do... That's fine. I mean, ChatGPT only has 3.2, and I'm using... No, 5.2, and I'm using 5.3 on Codex, but I don't think it really matters. So, I can tell it Industria as well, because it knows what Industria is. Idea. Do you have any better ideas? There's a lot of work for something Minecraft already gives you clean primitives for. No, it doesn't. To convey it as a belt segment with one facing and one shape. You know what we should do? I don't know why I only just thought of this, actually. 1 second, let me also close the multi-block lib, because we don't need that anymore. What we can look at is the rail block. Now, these are actually from the Minecraft sources, which I do not need anymore, because those are outdated. Okay, now I can look for rail. I somehow just wrote railroad. I don't know how I did it. I actually just did that out of instinct. That's kind of funny. So base rail block, here we go. So maybe not base rail block actually, because that doesn't seem to be correct. So that has rail shape. Rail shape. You have north, south, east, west. Ascending east, ascending west, ascending north, ascending south. Southeast, southwest, northwest, northeast. Okay, but what about the normal shape? Like just north, north, you know? Clockwise 180? No, that's... How the hell do rails work, chat? That has a shape, right? But there's no like... Oh, I guess north-south would be straight. Oh, right, because rails don't have a direction, right? So rails, when you have one facing north-south, it's facing north-south and south-north, because there isn't a direction of the rail, right? It just is like on an axis, and it doesn't have a direction it goes in. So that actually wouldn't work. Let's look again at what Codex suggests then. Where shape only actually changes. So it's straight, flat, up, down. Turn left, turn right, up, left, up, right. Yeah, we don't actually want those ones. Because like that just doesn't make sense. Right, so you have that along with a facing. I feel like that just overcomplicates things, though. Like, it's saying that's doing a lot of work, but like, it's not really. I mean, I kind of completely disagree with it. Because, I mean, sure, this works in terms of like, okay, you're storing less information, right? So maybe it's easier to represent a rail or a conveyor this way. But in terms of like the computation in order to be able to do this is significantly more complex than just what I suggested. I don't know which way's better. It's also, the other issue with this is when you have items on the conveyor, how on earth do you code the shape to do what you want it to do, right? With my model, you can basically just lerp it from start to end. I guess you kind of can't though, can you? I guess you can't. Because if you're turning back on yourself, you can't just lerp it from start to end. I didn't think about that. Wait, how would that even work? I just realized that doesn't make sense, does it? Right, a conveyor can't turn back on itself. I just thought about this. Because it's a single block space, right? So it couldn't turn back on itself, because then the conveyor that goes into the conveyor it would come back out on the conveyor that goes in. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So actually go ahead and just scrap these. Just scrap those. Those don't exist. Right? That's fine. That also significantly reduces. So that means in that case that my way of doing things would actually be worse, because then we would be storing possible combinations that aren't actually possible, right? You couldn't have one that goes north-south, because that means it's turning back on itself, which is impossible. So, okay, fine. We'll follow what it says then. So you instead of storing verticality separately, area part shape. Sure, yeah. Yeah, I think Rails is a little bit closer to what I was looking for than what I realized it was. So yeah, just basically having a shape and a facing is what we need then. As it says, that's probably something we want as well. We want some kind of like enabled state so that it can just be like turned on or off as well. But that's fine. We can figure that out. I suppose we can have waterlogging too, maybe. So okay, in that case, let's have, I don't know why I made this private, we actually want it public. So let's have a enum property. I think they're still called that. Yes, they are, thank goodness. So then we can have a conveyor shape, and this will be the shape, and we'll do that. Okay, then we can have a direction property. Is that not a thing? That must still be a thing, no? I mean, we can always do a property of direction, but I feel like a direction property exists, no? Okay, it's just an enum property of a direction, apparently. Huh. Am I imagining direction property existing, or did that never exist? I also think we want this to be horizontal facing, no? Or is this already horizontal facing? No, because that has north, south, west, east, up, down. We want this one. So we want block state properties dot horizontal facing. Okay. Blocks. Oh my god. Block state properties dot horizontal facing. Okay. Then we also want. Let's do waterlogging. I mean, there isn't really much reason not to. Waterlogged, and then let's also do I don't know that I want to call it powered, because that kind of suggests that like it's faster when it's powered rather than like it is on. So I think I would rather go for a enabled would be better, I think. Okay, so in that case, now we need to define the state then, or the shape, I mean. So let's have a public enum, conveyor shape, and I'm going to look at what it suggested we do here. So we have, so this is done, yeah, straight I think makes more sense. So straight, up, down. Do we want down? Yes, I think we want down. Turn left and then turn right. Okay, that's fine then. No, it doesn't like this because it needs to implement string representable. Okay, that's fine. That just means we need to do this. And that would just be name.to lowercase. Sure. I think that's fine. Wait, does this need to be... No, that's the serialized name, not the, like, translated name or anything. So that's fine. Okay. So now the question is, how do we add properties to the block properties? I don't remember. No! Okay, no, I don't actually want to do it like that, though. That's kind of terrible. Okay, let's add state property. Let's add shape. And the default will just be conveyor shape dot straight. That's fine. Okay, then let's add another state property. Facing and north, waterlogged and false, and then enabled and true. Okay. Anything else we want from this? And honestly, we could just say has horizontal facing here. I think let's just do that, actually. No, I actually don't want to do that. That's fine. Okay. We can actually do waterlogged and horizontal facing just directly through block properties, but I'm not going to do that. And then we're going to want this later on. Well, no, we're actually going to want a shape factory, but we'll come back to that. Not place opposite side. Yeah, I don't think we want that, right? Because when you place a conveyor, you want it to place... You want it to place the right way you're facing, not the opposite way you're facing. Is that right? I think so. I think that's correct. I thought there was something else we needed in here, though. Is why I initially came into here. Does it have a comparator output? I would say yes. Probably. Yes. Anything else? Has block entity renderer? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do block entities or if we're going to have some like world system. You know, I'm going to ask ChatGPT that as well. I'm kind of considering more a world-based system rather than a block entity, but not sure which is better. Okay, I'm just asking it. How do you recommend the logic for conveyor? Should it be the world that takes and renders them, or should each conveyor be a block entity that handles itself? I think world is better. It has said for conveyors you almost always want a world driven. You know, you guys can read this. I don't need to read this. No block entities per belt. Yeah. Block entities on every belt scales badly. I agree. Especially if someone builds a 2,000 block. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. That generally the world needs to do this. Same with pipes, right? The pipes themselves are not doing anything. The conveyors are going to be the exact same. Yes, item entities are possible, but I don't think we want to use item entities. This is what I was more inclined to do. It's recommended using entities for each item on the belts, but I don't know that's a good idea. Pin this idea for later, and I know this is an advanced use case, but imagine putting 2 N rails, 2 rails on top of each other would result in a conveyor lift. Final one direction being the exit direction. I'm not sure what you mean. Putting two rails on top of each other would result in a conveyor lift. I'm not sure what you mean. But conveyor lift was something I was thinking of, like a satisfactory style, I suppose, right? I think that'd be a pretty good idea, because obviously a way to just go vertically up would obviously be useful. Okay, I'm gonna ask it what it thinks is better with like belt item versus network controller. What do you think is better between network controller and belt item entities? I don't think belt item entities is a good idea, because then you have to have tons of entities, right? It's just, I feel like that's unnecessary, because entities have a lot of extra cost scales with throughput, not belt length, blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah. Okay. Input item neighbor recomputation. You can cache next belt per belt until the world changes. Controller can manage. Yeah. It really thinks that's the better one? Okay, one second. Let's read through what it said here, because I feel like it has said like this one is worse. Right? So let's see what it says. So 2000 block belt line with 0 items costs 0. Oh yeah, with 0 items cost 0. Yes, okay, yes, correct. A block entity per belt or controller scanning belts can still cost. Yes. Okay, technically true, because a controller... Well, no. The controller wouldn't scan the belts, right? The controller doesn't need to scan the belts, because the system would be notified when an item's added, right? You know, you'd add an item to the conveyor and it would send some kind of message to the controller to then start handling the belts around that item, right? It's not just gonna do all of the belts at once. That would be ridiculous. It only needs to look around that item on that belt, right? So I like kind of, but not really. Vanilla item entity has friction, random merge behavior, pickup delay, despawn rules, water interaction, all stuff you end up counteracting. How is that a pro then? If we have to counteract all of these things, how is this a pro about item entities? I completely disagree. Easier features later. Stacking lanes, filters, side loading. No merge. How is that easier though? Like it's just said it's easier and nothing to back it up. I would disagree. I don't really see how that's easier. So okay, I guess. And then here, like it hasn't. I mean. So, splitters, priority routing, overflow, round robin, filters, find next available output. But that's literally what it says here. Like, what? We're just saying the same thing is easier on both of them? Doesn't make sense, does it? Avoiding per item neighbor recomputation. You can cache next belt, next handler per belt until the world changes. Precisely. Chunk boundary handling. Controller can manage cross-chunk transfers easily. Yes, true. Though probably not an issue, but sure. You still end up with item carriers eventually? Why? Am I missing something, guys? Please tell me. Like, if I'm missing something, I would love to know. Please do tell me. Like what am I missing here? Why is it insistent that item entities are the best way? Because I feel like they are not. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell it. I feel like you're wrong. Okay. Means that the item means that the network only needs to handle the conveyors near the items that are currently on the system. It doesn't need to take the entire conveyor belt network, and there doesn't need to be any weird merge, despawn, or other logic that takes place during this. Let's see what it says. Don't use vanilla item entity for transport. Network controller plus item entity. Why? We don't need them both. What are we doing here, guys? This is madness. But it doesn't need physics. Like, maybe it just doesn't understand the type of conveyor belts I'm going for, but I'm not aiming for, like, physics-based conveyor belts, right? That's so unnecessarily complicated, right? That would actually be terrible. Because you just have, like, items falling off conveyors at certain points, and then, like, what on earth happens then, you know? Collisions, like, don't care about collisions either, because there's going to be one item per conveyor belt. Or maybe more. I don't know exactly how we're going to do that. Merge checks, don't care, right? Water. Oh, right, these are cons. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm so confused. It says here, right? Don't use vanilla item entity for transport. The real comparison is network controller plus item entity. This is crazy. Okay, now it's saying plus carrier objects, but like, why? Why? This match the network only processes segments that contain items, and there's no despawn. Carrier can be a custom entity or pure data. Okay. Now, finally, we're talking about pure data. That's what I was looking for. A custom lightweight entity. Why? Actually, I can't, bro. Why does it want it to be an entity? I think it's wrong. You know, fuck this, man. We're not arguing with ChatGPT anymore. We're doing it my way. Because my way is right. Okay, but that's probably the easy part. We actually have a lot to do before then, and that is going to be with like placement and stuff. So, this is where things are going to get complicated in reality. So when you could, okay, so let's do the. Okay, placing conveyors is going to be really complicated because we have to check the neighbors and we have to do things depending on the neighbors. This is actually a place where codex is probably a really good choice. Because even just thinking about this is quite scary. I would say we can copy the rail, but can we? Can we? We kind of can, right? I'm just a little concerned that the rail is going to be unnecessarily complex because Mojang. But it might be the best way to do it. So, I mean, I guess let's try. Let's try and copy the rail. If it doesn't work, we'll vibe code it. So let's try get state for placement. Let's just copy that across. I'm not sure that copy pasting it across is any better than vibe coding, by the way, guys. I kind of actually don't think it is, but this is fine, I think. This is, yeah, the only thing with this is yeah, the problem here actually is that we can't do that. Because yeah, as I said before, rail shapes go north, south, east, west. They don't go like, you know, east west isn't different from west east, north south isn't different from south north, etc, etc. So we actually really can't do that. I mean, like technically we could do this, right? Can you actually just get the... No, you can't. I thought you could actually get the fluid state. Apparently you can't. I mean, like, this is correct, but it won't handle the shape, obviously. Because then you need to calculate the shape on top of that. Rotates. Mirror. Update shape. To get fluid state, that's something we're going to want as well. Hello Alex, welcome to the stream. We're going to want this as well. Okay, let's just try and copy what we can and then we'll go from there. Yeah, that doesn't need to exist. That's fine. Okay. Try and copy as much as possible. Is slope. Affect neighbors after removal. I mean, that's probably something we will want. So I am gonna copy this. And I'm gonna put it in. I think we're gonna get codex to try and do some of this. But I'm just gonna add in the methods we're gonna want and then we'll go from there. So, oh, they actually have a rail state. Oh, okay. I was wondering where all the code for the actual rail stuff was. I knew it wasn't this simple. Yeah, it's not this simple. Okay, that's fine. We'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, we're gonna want to do things like this, but we can kind of come back to that. Okay. We're going to want on place as well. We're not going to care about can survive because we're going to have like floating conveyors and stuff. That's fine. You know, it's not like rails. It's going to have like a base and stuff. So that's fine. Get shape. We'll come back to that. Okay. This is probably something we should set up actually real quick. We should set up a tag for conveyors so that we know we're connecting to another conveyor. I don't remember where the tags are. I think they're an init list. Yeah, they are. Okay, so let's do public static final tag key of conveyor of block, right? Of no, it had it, bro. It had it. Come on. There you go. Nice. Okay, lovely. Yeah, the rest we kind of can't really copy across. Because... yeah, that's where things stop working. Let's just quickly have a look at this one and see if there's anything here we can nab. Yeah, rotate and mirror we're going to want as well. And mirror. And then we don't need this because that's already handled by the block properties, so that's fine. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys. This might not work, as I always say. It is going to be AI after all, but it is always worth a shot. So okay. Can you implement the rest of the logic for at conveyor block? You need to handle the placement so that the conveyor is placed in the correct direction and with the correct shape. The same should happen on neighbor updated. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I need to save the file. Okay, I think I managed to save the file in time. Oh god. Okay, it's going to look at pipe block. That's... I don't know I agree with that decision. And pipe block kind of has all of this, but pipe block is different. Pipe block basically, by the way, guys, I basically just copied the chorus fruit. Not chorus fruit, the chorus block, because it's literally exactly the same. Though I may have rewritten it once since then, a little bit, but I think it's pretty similar. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, I think it's got this. I actually think it's got this. I could be wrong, but I do genuinely think it has a pretty good chance here. Why the hell is it reading the wellhead block? What? Why? Why are you reading this? This is literally the least interesting block I have in the entire mod. There's nothing going on in there. Well, it's actually not. Yeah, it's actually a little more interesting than that, but it's not that interesting. Come on, man. Shouldn't take this long. It doesn't have to. Okay. In the meantime, can we do this in the meantime? Kind of. I just want to try and set up the actual network, like what we have here, right, for pipes. So let's create a new class. Let's do actually a new package. Do conveyor. Actually, I don't have the blocks in here, do I? No, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't in there. Okay. So conveyor, new class. Let's do a conveyor network, and I think this needs to be an interface. I'm trying to remember what I did with pipes. Okay, I did an abstract class. Why? Because it does have data. Yeah, that's true. But pipes are a little bit different because obviously they have a transfer type. But like conveyors are always just going to be for items. I'm just trying to think, how do we want to do this? I guess actually, I mean, the conveyor network really could just be a class. I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it needs to have implementations or anything. We are going to want to reference the pipe network. So I am going to grab it. Okay, I'm going to kind of copy things across that I think are going to work here. So a UID we're going to want. Protected final set of block pause for conveyors we're going to want, which will be a new concurrent hash map dot new key sets, and then we're going to want a private final in the pipe network I put connected blocks, but we actually, well, yeah, I guess we actually do want that. And then storage is a little bit complicated. So for the pipes, obviously they just have a single storage, right? Like an entire network just has like energy. Like it doesn't have different energies, it just has energy, right? Same with like a fluid pipe network, same with heat pipe network, etc. This is a little bit different because the network is going to have a lot of different ones. I guess that's where we don't want a storage. This is where we want our data, I suppose, right? So if you think about the data, we're going to want some kind of like public final. We'll have it be private, I think. Private final conveyor storage. Sure. Yeah. And then we'll create that class in a minute. That's fine. Okay. We're going to want our constructor, so that will just take in the UID. That's fine. And then I guess we can create the storage in the constructor as well. We don't need to, but we're going to. Are we going to? No, we're actually not going to. Doesn't really make sense. We don't need to. Okay, let's get the UID. So get ID. We're gonna want to have get conveyors, and we're gonna want to have add public void add conveyor. We're going to want to have public void remove conveyor. We're going to want to have public void move conveyors from, basically just copying the pipe network here, by the way, guys. Public, yeah, get connected blocks. Protected void on connected blocks changed level now I've just left that blank in the pipe network because I think that's inherited by each individual network. We'll come back to that in a second to deal with that. Clear connected blocks. Okay, I'm just gonna copy all these other ones because I think all of these we can just copy. Only thing I'll do, I'll just rename world to level. And okay, because obviously these are yarn mappings, so they were actually called world. Okay. To do implement. I don't exactly know what this would do, but we'll come back to it. Apparently codex is done, by the way. This also needs to be a conveyor network, and it doesn't need to be generic. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's just the conveyor storage being weird. Okay, and then we just want the tick method as well. So public void tick. So we're taking a level, and then we're gonna do 4 block pods in connected blocks. And then we're gonna do direction.values.4. Then we're gonna do block pause. Conveyor pause. If it contains it, then we're going to do transfer type dot item dot push to, and we're going to take in the level. We're going to take in the pause. Primary pause is the pipe pause, right? So that's the conveyor pause, and then the secondary is the one we're pushing to, which is the connected block, and then we take the direction. Oh, I thought I named it direction. I'm pretty sure I renamed it to direction, but I guess not. I don't know. Okay. Nice. So, I mean, this is basically exactly the same as the pipe network, which I wrote a very long time ago, by the way, guys. So do not expect me to be familiar with it, because I'm not. Okay, codex is done anyway. So let's have a look at what it's done and see. Okay, this looks scary. I don't know it's done a good job. Clean it up as we go along, but we need to see this update method. I think. Okay. So, and then that does resolve state. Okay, so resolve state is now the big scary one. Score candidate is now the big scary one. Okay. Okay, I see what it's done. I don't hate it, actually. I think it's a little bit unnecessary, but I actually don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think that's okay. And look how much code this is. That's hardly any code, right? And what? I don't really understand what the point of this is, though. Because we've got. Oh, I see. I see. So you have like. Oh, okay. I see. And where's that used? So for endpoint and endpoint, it gets the neighbor pause by using the endpoint and offsets it to the pause. Right. What does offset do? Offsets by the... Oh, okay. I see. Okay. And then that gets the state. If it's not a conveyor block, it continues. Else it resolves the state. So resolving the state, what does this do? So it gets the preferred facing, preferred shape. Okay, so it scores the counter. What does this actually do, though? So it gets the inputs, gets the outputs, and it just score endpoint. So pause, state, relative. If the neighbor has an endpoint. Okay. I think I kind of get it. I get the concept. I don't get entirely exactly everything is done, but okay. I mean, I think this is fine anyways. Let me just see what it's actually said, because sometimes it does say what it's done. Okay, that's fine, I think. It hasn't said what it's done, by the way. It says the changes it's made, but it hasn't like said how it does it. Okay. Back to the network. Before we start the storage, I'm just going to look at one of the implementations. So, like cable network, for example. So this is cable network, by the way. Okay, so just trying to look at what it actually does. It doesn't really do anything, actually. Oh, I think now that I think about it, the method, this one, I think in the pipe network system, this is used by the heat pipes, because when the heat pipes have a connected block, they need to propagate everything, right? So they need to propagate basically the heat across the entire network. So it needs to know when the connected blocks change. Now we actually, I don't think need that. The only thing about conveyors is they are different from conventional pipes, right? Because pipes, it's like instantly from one to the other. Conveyors aren't. I mean, I think this is fine for now. We're just gonna say this is no-op. We'll possibly come back to it. I think we are gonna want it later. Hence I am gonna leave it here. More importantly, let's work on the conveyor storage. Okay. So just trying to think how we need to structure the actual data of the item. Like what is a conveyor item? It's obviously an item, but like it's not just an item, right? We need to describe more about that item. Like, do we have a I guess we have a block pause, right? And then maybe we have like a vec 3D within that pause, I guess. That's probably the way I would do this, I think. So we're going to have a private final. We don't need a. We're not going to use an array. We are going to use an array list. We'll have a convey items will be a new copy on write array list because we want it to be concurrent. Okay, because we're obviously going to access it whilst we're looping over it and all of those things. We're probably going to remove things while looping over it, etc. So copy on write, we need that so we don't get a concurrent modification. Okay, so I guess now let's define conveyor item, and then we'll come back to conveyor storage. I think that's the best way to do this. So we're going to have a... oh. Okay, so we're going to have a private... So I'm just trying to think, the items, do we want to persist the item objects? Or when they move block pause, do we want to make a new one? I'm also thinking when we have these items, maybe a good idea would be give them like a UUID, so it's a unique item. I think that's actually a very good idea, and I think we should do that. So let's do UUID ID. Okay, let's do that, but then let's also do let's do that so that we can automatically generate it. And then just pass it in. Like if we're deserializing it, then we would want to pass it into the constructor, right? But if we're creating an item for the first time, then we'd want to generate a random UID. So that's fine. Then we're going to want a private. Okay, well here's where we have to think about things. So do we want to hold? I guess we do want an item stack, right? Because there might be data about that item we need to store. Like, you know, the item that's dropped on the conveyor might have a name, or it might have some special enchants or those kind of things. So we are going to want to keep the stack. So we'll have the item stack item, and then we will also have a private block pos, which will be the position, and then we're going to have a private vec. Well, no, I agree with what it says here, actually. Let's have a float progress, so we know the progress from the start of that conveyor to the end of that conveyor. And then we're going to have a vector 2D, 3D, I mean, which is going to be the... Do we want to do velocity though, or do we just want to have a position? The thing with velocity is, yeah, the thing with velocity, is that means we have to then actually handle like all of that. Like we have to handle the physics then. I think let's not do a velocity. Let's just have a vec 3D, which will be the like local position, basically. I don't think there's anything else we want to store. It wants us to add a velocity now, of course, but you know, we're not going to do that. Okay, so I think that's basically it. Do we have? Do I have Lombok? No, that's unfortunate. I'd love a Lombok right now, But that's fine, we can just generate the getters and setters anyways. Okay, so get ID, get item, get position, set position, get progress, set progress. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, then we do add item. And then we do remove item. I think that's basically it, right? I think. I'm wondering actually here, where we just have a list of items, let's actually have a map of a block pause to an item. And then we can get the items from a specific conveyor position, rather than having to loop through all the items, find the ones at a specific position, all those shenanigans. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do here, public void add item, which will just be a block pause, and then we're just going to add a item stack, and then this will just put in a new conveyor item basically. That's probably a good point actually. So this one, we're going to want to take in an item stack, and we're also going to take in the block pause addition. So then we can do pause stack. Let's do this. No, actually, that's fine. I was going to say we need to set the progress, but the progress will be 0 by default, and that's correct. So that's fine. Only thing, I was just trying to think about the local position. Technically should be different. Like it shouldn't just be 0 when it enters, I guess. I think it's fine. For now, it's fine. To do... come back and look to see if we need to modify the position of the item based on the conveyor's shape and direction, I guess. Sure. Well, yeah. Yeah, that is correct, actually. Okay. Okay. What do we need to do now? I don't know. What do we do now, chat? I feel like we're actually like almost there. Like we're almost done, right? Am I crazy? I mean, so one thing we do need. So if we go back to the pipe network real quick, and if we look down, here. So for example, this, right? We have a public S get storage of block pause. like, this is something we do want. So what we can do, actually, one thing we'll do real quick. Also, this isn't gonna work. This needs to be a list of conveyor items, because there could be multiple items at a conveyor, potentially. So items dot, we can compute if absent, right? Yeah, nice, lovely. And once again, basically the same thing. Just gonna do that. Remove item. We'll pass in a UUID here. Okay, let's first create a public list of conveyor item, and then we can get the items at a position. And then here we can do get items at, remove if item ID equals item ID. Nice. Okay. Let's also do public void remove or clear items at, and then let's do public. I don't think we really want clear all items. That's not really necessary. Okay, I'm just thinking, do I want to make add item vararg for the conveyor item? Honestly, we can. I mean, why not, right? So let's do conveyor item dot dot dot, and change it to add items, I guess. And then this will be the conveyor items. Will be this dot items, and then add all. Is that the best way to do that? Can't we do collections? Yeah, thought so. And do the same thing here. So stacks, add items. Okay, and that just needs to take in the pause, and then it's taking the stack. I'm just thinking maybe let's do list of stacks dot stream dot map to like that. We can actually, yeah, that's true. I always forget you can do that, but yes, we can do that. Just a little bit cleaner. Not more efficient, but cleaner. So I prefer to just do that. Same here, to be honest. I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna make these the same, just because there's no need to not, right? We can't do list of items dot remove. No, not really. And you can do, yeah, I guess you could do, I guess you could do key sets and then. Oh no, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. You couldn't. Well, I mean, I'm sure you could, but not like that. That's fine though. Okay, so now what we can do is we can have our public do we do this? I'm just trying to think. The only kind of the big problem here, okay, here's the thing, right? So for this to work with like hoppers and chests and whatnot, we need to use the fabric transfer API. And to do that, we need to supply an item storage, and we need to do that for each position. Now, I'm just trying to think, when is this method actually called? And I think it's basically going to be called like every tick. I'm just trying to figure out how do we avoid reconstructing the item storages basically every tick. Could be multiple times a tick. I mean, this would work, right? This can take in a world, right? Wait, how does this work? I'm trying to think how the networks work. I think... Or how does get storage work, even? 1 second, let me go back into here again. Let me just find where this is used. And I can see... if it's possible... Storage... Server get storage. Yeah, so we do have a world. Okay. That's fine then. So what we can do is we can pass in the level. And what we can do... see, this is where it's going to get even more complicated, though. Because here's the thing, right? We don't want to be able to take items out if their progress is not, like, max, right? If they're not at max progress, we don't want... I guess, actually, we never want to be able to take items out. Now that I think about it, do we? Or do we? What's the hopper blower conveyor do? I think at that stage, maybe we consider having, like, hopping conveyors, right? Just conveyors that, like, can have hoppers below them, maybe. Or just hopping conveyors, like, if there's a storage below, they just output to that storage, maybe. Because, I mean, hoppers don't pull anyways, right? Do hoppers pull? No, I don't think they do. Okay, so in this case, I suppose what we can do is we don't need to do this. We just need to do map to get item. Wait, that finds first, though. We don't want to do that. Do we want to construct storage from all the stacks? Right? So, okay, let's do this. So this will be items at, right? Maybe not an amazing name, but it'll work. yeah, basically do this. Otherwise, just return null. This can just be ignored. This doesn't even need to be taken in. In fact, we don't even need to take the direction in that case, do we? Right, so then we can just create this. This will extend item storage. Now, this won't be a single item storage, though. This will need to be... Go to implementations. Oh, right. Right, we don't... Okay, yeah, we don't do it like that. Right, okay. I'm forgetting how this works. That's not how it works. So the item storage is the storage, but we actually need to give it the, like, container, right? So item container, this will be I don't know what they're called in Mojmap, though. I think they actually are called containers, aren't they? Yes? No. No, they are not. Can take item. Oh no, maybe they are. No, they're not. Are they? One second, let me go to implementations. Oh, they are. Okay. Okay. So in that case, we can extend a predicate. Oh no, we can't, because this requires a block entity. Bugger. Okay, in that case, we can extend a simple container then. Okay. Extend a simple container, and this will be a conveyor item container. Okay. So this will just have the constructor that takes in a list of stacks. So we can have a list. I think it's a non-null list though. Oh no, it's actually not. That's fine. Okay. And then we just do super item stacks. No, I'm just going to call this stacks. I think that's a weird name. And then, I mean, that's basically it for now. Well, no. I mean, we're going to want can take item will return false. And then, so this is also going to need to have like a limit. So this will have like a private final int item limit int item limit, and actually the size of this will be the item limit, and then we'll just add the stack. So actually we don't even need that. Then we just need to do that. You know what we can do actually? If yeah, we can do a couple things here. So we can do that. If stacks is null, we can do that. If stacks.length is greater than item limit, then we'll do that as well. And then we can do our for loop like that. I actually don't think. Do we need to? Yeah, we'll keep it like that. That's fine. Okay, can take item, and then is there anything else we want to override? can place item. Or can add item, I guess. It kind of depends. I think let's return false. What other methods are there? I think the other ones just, yeah, they just like call that and stuff, so that's fine. Okay, I think that's fine for now. So let's pass in. So at this point, we need to know information about the conveyor, right? So, like, we need to know, what does the conveyor support? How many items does the conveyor support? So we kind of need that level back. Level. Okay, so what we can do is I'm trying to think in terms of efficiency. Maybe what we should do is just cache like a have like a cache in the network that stores a map of, I guess there's no point doing that. Okay, what we can do then is we can do level.get block state at the pause, and then we can do get block is instance of conveyor block, then conveyor block dot get ooh, I don't know actually. Okay, no, let's not get the block state. Let's get the block entity. No, because we don't have a block entity. Shit. Or we might not have a block entity, I guess. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, then we can get... So if it's a conveyor block, then what we will do is we'll get the item limit of level pause. Or we will say zero, I guess? I don't know. What do we say otherwise? I would say 0. Only problem is, this means if it's if there's no items in it, then we're saying it doesn't have an item storage, which is wrong. Okay, I have an idea then. So currently we just have a list of conveyor item, but we can have another data structure, right? We could have a... So we have a conveyor item. We can have a... let's rename this entire class actually to conveyor network storage, and then we will have a conveyor storage, right? And the conveyor storage will have a private final block pause, And it will have a private final list of conveyor items, which will be a new copy on write array list. And then it will have a private final item storage. Item storage. Okay. Now, in here, we will pass in the level. Not that level. That level. Level. And the block pause. Like that. Okay. And then this .item storage will be equal. And what we can do is basically copy what we've done here. So that will be equal to, if it's conveyor block, then it gets the item limit. Otherwise, and then it just passes in this .items. So then that directly just references this here. I think that's fine, right? Well, kind of not really, actually, is it? Is there a version of this that just takes in a list of items and uses that? There might be, but I'm not sure. So okay, in that case, we can just stacks content compatible. I don't know what that means. Fill stacked contents. Does it override that? It does. Okay, that's fine then. We can do that as well. Special logic container. I think that's fine. I don't think that's a problem. Okay. So let's do this, do that. Okay. Then this can take in a private final list of item stack, which will be the items. Oh, that's not going to work though. Okay, no, this will take in a list of conveyor item, which will be the items, and those will just be passed in here, right? Stack.size is greater than item limit. Super item limit, so that just doesn't exist anymore. Honestly, this doesn't need to exist either. There doesn't even need to be an item limit, really. I mean, there does, though, actually. There does. There needs to be a private final int item limit. And then what we will do, we'll do that. Okay. And then we will set that. Okay. So you don't exist anymore. Okay, we need to override some methods, of course. So that would just be item limit is empty. Items is empty. This will need to return this dot items. Dot size is greater than slot. Item. Yeah, that should probably be renamed to stack. Okay, there you go. remove item should... Okay, why is it not removing it? Hello? List items. The remove slot. Removed. Removed is null. Wait, no, we can just modify the stack, right? Right? I think so. So we can get it at the slots. Okay, then we can say we can do that. Else we can split it, remove yeah. Okay, and then you return the splits. Okay, that's fine. Okay, remove item no update. Okay, set item. Okay, set changed. Come back to it. Return true. Can place item false. Clear content. Okay, set changed. Okay, so we need some listeners then. And we don't need to implement this, but well, yeah, we really don't need to implement that actually. So that's fine. We can just ignore that then, because we're just not gonna. We're gonna know up that. Okay, so that gives us two related problems, which is this. So here we just want to... Oh, no, it's... Okay, right. So... Okay, so now in here we need to change... No, in here, this now needs to become a map of block pods to a conveyor storage. Okay, I'm also not going to rename this. I'm going to change this to storages. Like that. This is fine. This just needs to become a new conveyor storage. Ooh, that does need to take in the level on the pause though. So then we'll take in the level, and then we'll do level pause. Storage is stock compute if absent. Right, that now needs to become a conveyor storage. And then we need to do storage dot alright, so here is where we need some methods, right, to actually like add things to the storage. So public, sure, let's add some getters first, I guess. Public add items, remove items, clear items is empty. That should be a thing, but not quite like that. So that will need to be a conveyor item storage, and then what we can do is we can get the item limit. So we can just do get container size, I guess, for that. Nice. Okay, anything else that it's going to suggest? No, that's fine. We're probably not going to use is full, but we might, so that's fine. Then do storage dot add items. Okay, so this needs to be a new, this will be a storage. This needs to take in a level, new conveyor storage, and then sim stacks for each conveyor items, add items, which is a storage. This will be a conveyor storage, which will be we can just have like an empty one, right? Only problem is we don't really have a way to do that. I guess we can have like a private conveyor storage. Which will just be like empty. So we'll do this dot pause is equal block. Well, we can do null, I guess. That's fine. Item storage is null, like that, and then we'll just have a empty like that. Get item storage. Required type item storage provided conveyor item storage. Yeah, that's fine. That needs to be conveyor item container. This can be item container as well. Because otherwise that's a little bit confusing. Okay, so else we can just do conveyor storage.empty like that. Okay. And then here, so here we need to do conveyor storage. Will be, so this can be renamed to get storage at. Will be get storage at pause. And then storage, I guess I can do get items dot remove if. Like that. And then this will need to be conveyor storage. Will be get storage at. If storage is not null, then storage.getItem container. But that's not going to work because that won't give us the actual like storage we need. So what we can create is we create a storage of, well, I guess it can just be an item storage. Item storage. And then this dot item storage is equal to, I don't remember how you do this. Storage dot item storage dot item. How do you do it? You do a new item storage? I don't think you do. New single item storage? Go to... No, that's for storing a single item variant. Go to implementations, item storage. Maybe it doesn't need to return that. Container storage of storing a container inside of a block entity field and converting it with container storage.of. Okay, here you go. Okay, so we can do container storage dot of this dot item container null. What does that give us? Provided container storage. Okay, so what we need then is a container storage. Is that right? So that gives us slotted storage, which okay, I got it wrong. So what we actually need here then is a storage of item variant. I don't know if that should be null or not, but I'm not sure this is right either, to be honest. Because that is sided. Container storage, combined slotted storage. Not sure. I think that's fine. Okay. So where are we at now? What's complaining? So that's complaining, but that's fine. This is complaining because this needs to be a storage of item variant. And this needs to return a storage of item variant. Wait, no. Item container. Oh no, that's... No. Oh no, that's fine. Okay, yeah, we just need the other method. So we need public get item storage, and then this will just return get item storage. Okay, now we can remove the level parameter because now we don't need that. Okay, we're making progress. So now let's do item storage init, I think it's called. Yes, and let's do item storage. We can do sided dot register for blocks, I think. I'm not sure how pipes do this. Maybe it's register self. Oh god, where am I? I don't even know what class I'm in right now. I'm in that one, okay. I don't know, actually. Oh, right, because I'm looking in item storage decided. I need to look for, like, fluid storage. You know, sure, fluid storage in it. Okay, yeah, I see. That makes sense. So that's basically what we want here. So we want item storage decided, register for blocks, and here we're going to use world conveyor network, which will basically be the same, but that's fine. And then we'll just get storage at pos. We can underscore all of these because we're in Java 25. Java 25, my beloved. Yeah, this is now level. This is server level. And this is actually now then, therefore, going to be level conveyor networks, which I don't like, but it is what it is, I guess. Okay, so let's create those then. So let's come into persistent, level conveyor networks. This extends, I think, save data storage, I think. Just save data. Okay. I'm gonna copy actually pipe networks. So I'm gonna take that to my other monitor. Okay, so this extends saved data, right? I got a little bit lost for a second then. And then we need a codec, which I am gonna copy across, I think. Yeah. Maybe. The only thing is this has a data class, but I don't really know why I did that. I guess it kind of makes sense, so I mean we'll do that. Okay, so this should be a list of conveyor network, which will be the conveyor networks. This one I want to exclude. Okay. Nice. So world pipe network. So this needs to be that. This needs to be conveyor networks. Okay, this needs to be conveyor network manager, which we don't have yet, but we will want that in a mo. Think. Yeah, for sure. Okay, that's fine. And then we're going to want our data. And we're going to want our constructors. And then we're going to want a get data. And we're going to want our get conveyor networks. Okay, and then that will be conveyor networks, but data, so that'll just be data then. Like that. Okay. And we're going to want these two methods, but not exactly like this. So this will need to be much simpler, really. We can actually just get rid of most of this. So this will just be, for example, a conveyor network. Because we don't need to have all of these shenanigans that the old ones had. So that will just be, this can just be actually return this dot network manager dot get network at pos, like that. This will just do that. It will get rid of that. This will just be a conveyor network. And this can be nullable. Which I think I meant to put like there, right? And likewise, this can be nullable as well. That's going to be conveyor network. Network is not null. Then we do network dot get item storage. We can actually just no, I mean that's fine actually. Oh, so this is the storage. Oh no, never mind. So this needs to be a storage of item variant. like that. Okay. And then that's basically it. Only other thing I'm gonna probably want is the sync to client shenanigans, but unfortunately this doesn't actually work. But I'm gonna plonk it to do implement this later. Copied from World Pipe Networks for now. And then this will be the server level, like that. Director. Okay. So we do need a network manager as well. Oh, I just realized what I've done here. Wait. Oh, okay. No, we don't need this. At all. We don't need that. We can just do get conveyor networks, and then this will just be this dots conveyor. This dots conveyor networks like that. And then this we will just do. Still conveyor networks plus stream network dot. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then we can get rid of all of this. We don't need all of this. We just need a private final list of conveyor network, right? I think so. Which will be that. Which actually we'll just rename to networks even. Like that. And then this will just be conveyor network.codec.list of, yeah, that's fine. And this will just be a new copy on write array list. Okay. Okay. Oh, apparently Wired messaged me a while ago saying messages are getting blocked. Are you guys getting messages blocked? I guess you can't tell me, can you? I don't think they are. Okay, well, anyone who is here, can you try and send a message? And then I will at least know if anyone can send a message. Can I send a message? I can send a message. I mean, as one would expect. And let's see if I can figure this out before stream ends. I mean, I don't think anything's wrong. To be honest, I don't really know how to use YouTube live streaming dashboard. I can't find any like moderation menu or anything. So if messages were getting blocked, I don't know where they would go to. Not sure. I'm just trying to think, how can I even figure out if they're getting blocked or not? I don't even know. I literally don't have anything to check this. Like, there isn't any tools I have. YouTube doesn't give me anything. Oh, unless I do this, actually, 1 second. So, I mean, comment, so, messages in your live chat, we have basic moderation right now. I mean, I can turn that off, but I don't think that should cause any issues. I mean, I don't know, guys. I think everything's fine. I don't know. If anyone else has any problems, please ping me on Discord. I do usually check it more often during the streams. Apparently I haven't checked it in the last half an hour. But yeah, let me know. That's the best place to contact me. Whilst I'm streaming, that is. Well, and outside of streaming generally too. So that is linked in the description of every stream, every video, all of those shenanigans. Okay, so let's... Oh. 1 second. Did I not have this method? Oh, I do. I just missed it. We need 2 things, actually. So we need these. So we need that. This will be conveyor networks. We need that. Okay, and then we need that. And that's basically it. I don't know if we need to, like, register this or something. I'm just trying to look at where vanilla uses this. So get network manager. 7410 did something here? What the hell did 7410 do here? I have no idea. Okay, so where are you used? Manager to place pipe. Okay. And it's basically what we want, yeah, to be honest. So I'm just gonna drag this across. And also, let's quickly go ahead and fix this. So we're gonna want a codec. Now, I don't know if this needs to be a... I don't know what type of codec this needs to be. I'm going to move my pipe network over as well. Okay, so it's just a normal codec by the looks of it. Oh no, it's not. The way I did these ones... Well, it kind of is, actually. No, it's actually not. So, it's a map codec. So, if we go into here, I mean, and we create a map codec of type conveyor network, this will be the codec, so this will be equal to record codec builder dot map codec instance instance dot group, and then it's inside the group you do the things, right? So then we do, I think it's in UUID util. yeah, it's authorlib code. No, I think it's just normal codec. I think. I actually don't know what the difference is, I can't lie. So that's an int stream. And this is a string one. I don't know which one's the better one. Where's this one used? And where's this one used? Okay, we're using this in Railroad a couple no, Railroad, not in Railroad. In here a couple times. Okay. Well, I think this should probably just be the normal codec. And I'm going to fix that in a couple places that use that. Because that doesn't seem correct to me. So, codec and codec. Okay. Let's close that. Let's also close that. Let's also close... Oh, I'm actually going to move that across, but I don't think we need that. But maybe. Let's close a couple other things as well. Let's just close a bunch of things even. Things that I know we're not going to need. So... might need that. Conveyor block, we're going to need that in a second. Don't need this now. Okay. So we've got the codec, so we'll do field of ID for getter. Yeah, then we have... Yep, that's fine. That's fine. And then... yeah. Wait, no, the storage needs to be saved though. So we also need to do conveyor network storage. .codec dot field of getter network dot storage. That is correct, I think. Yes. Okay, and then we apply. Storage.load from... yeah, I mean, that's fine. We can load from a conveyor network storage. Well, it needs to... no, that's fine, actually. Yeah, that's fine. List of... it doesn't like that. I think we can do extra codecs dots. List of, like that, and yeah, so I guess we probably do want a constructor that takes those in then. So public not that one though. We don't care about that one. Oh no, I guess we do need that one, yes. But we just don't need it to do anything. Okay. That's fine. And then, yeah, now this just needs a codec as well. So let's come in here. Now this codec is going to be a little bit complicated. But we're going to try. So we'll do a map codec of a conveyor network storage codec, and we'll do map codec. So here I don't know actually how we do map codecs. There is a way to do them. codecs. Here we go. Map codec. Maps. Here we go. Okay, so we can do for this one. We can do codec.unbounded map. And then we have blockpos.codec and conveyor storage.codec, like that. And then we can create a codec for the conveyor storage as well. So this will just be a codec. Storage.pos. Yeah, that's the only problem. We can't do that though, can we? That is a problem, huh? Yeah. Because that item container needs an item limit. Well, what we could do actually is we can take codex. Is it codec.int? Right? And then do field of item count. So then this will be storage dot. I can do get item storage dot container size, I guess. Storage. So, I mean, this is a list of items, though. Oh no, that's correct. Yeah. So then we do conveyor item dot codec. This also needs to be a map codec, by the way. Don't ask me the difference. I don't know. Okay, so then we can do var storage like that. We can set the pos. Wait, how can we set the pos? The pos is final. How on earth is it letting us set the pos? I don't think that's going to work. I think that's going to break in a second. But we'll figure that out in a second. Oh, okay. What we can do is we can have another constructor. We can have a block pos, and then we can have an int item limit, and then we can have a list of conveyor items like that. And then, in fact, this one even could then just call this of pos that, and then that. Right? Oh no, I guess we can't because... Oh right, I see. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. A little bit annoying, but that's fine. And then that just means this can then take in pos. This will be pos item count items. So then this will be pos item count items. It doesn't like that because it's fine, I think. This can even be simplified down to conveyor storage new, like that. Okay. This, it doesn't like this because... Oh, right. I don't think this will work. What's the second function? Oh, but that needs to be converted back to a container storage, so that's not going to work. How on earth am I going to do that then? I guess I'm going to have a conveyor. That's not going to work though. Oh, wait. What I had before should work. 1 second. Because the storage here should be the conveyor storage, right? Which is this. So then that should get the item container, and then it should get the container. That should work. I think it's complaining because this is erroring. I think. Because that should work. I'm pretty confident about that. So this will be a map codec. Can codec manage to or Copilot manage to do this? No. I reckon there's already a codec for this. It's not going to be in my math utils though. It might be in like Mojang's math utils. Do they have any? It's called math like that, right? What about codec? I'm sure they have one. You know what I can do actually? Scope all places and just do codec of vector. They actually don't. Wow. Wait, they have an extra codex class? I have an extra codex class, god damn it. Stealing my friggin' codex. Or stealing my class names. Did this exist before? I feel like this didn't exist before. But whatever. Oh no, maybe it did. I think that was the codex class. Like CODECS compared to codec, I think. But okay, fine. I will just have to do it myself. Extra codex dot vec. What is it? Vector 3D codec. Okay. And SF codec. Codec of vector 3D. Vector 3D codec. Yeah, basically just a double, pretty much. Okay, no, it doesn't like this though. So this has a pos and a stack. This should probably set those. As far as I'm concerned. Whereas that's not going to work, is it? This is not correct. I don't know what the hell is going on here. That just needs to be a new conveyor item like that. In fact, you can be like that. Wait, why is that an item? Wait, why are we X mapping? What? What are we doing here? That is not correct. We just need to apply. Apply. Oh, okay, this is not correct. What the hell is it doing, man? Record. This needs to be record codec builder. Yeah, that's correct. Like that. Then that needs to be like that. Then I think we apply on that or something. Oh no, then we do. Wait, how do you do this? You do it like... Oh, no. Okay. Then you do instance.group. Right, I'm getting very lost here. Okay, like that. Then that's like that, and then it's like that, and then it's like that. No, that doesn't even exist. Right? Okay, so then this takes in a position and a stack. It doesn't like that though. Record instance.group. That takes in these. That closes that. Then we apply. No, I think that does take in instance, actually. I think that's correct. Instance. That goes to there. That closes that. I think that's correct. Record code of conveyor item. Create. What on earth has happened here? Conveyor item get position. What is messed up here? Instance.group, which is fine. It says that's an error though. No instance error that objects convey. What? So a map codec of conveyor item is equal record codec builder.create instance.group. Do that one, do that one, do that one, and then that one. And then we apply. I think it's the apply that must be wrong, right? No. I'm just gonna have to do this manually. Instance.group. Vector 3D codec. Apply. What the hell is happening? What am I doing wrong? I'm so confused. Instance.group. I'm losing it. Codec item dot. Oh, this needs to be okay. This is complaining because this needs to be extra codecs dot list of. That's why that's complaining. Other than that, this is very suspicious. Okay, something is still wrong though. Okay, like this one works. Wait, does it? No, that one needs to be like that. Okay, so then that's network. Okay. This is complaining. There needs to be a codec of block pause, but this is a map codec. That's fine, we can just do .codec. Required type codec of conveyor network storage. Oh, this needs to be a codec of a map of block pause, conveyor network storage. Apparently there's an unbounded map codec? Oh, because this is just a conveyor storage. Okay, that's why that's complaining. Field of storage. So that's a conveyor network storage. Okay. Right, so this needs to be... Okay, 1 second. So this needs to be a... We want this to be a map codec of a conveyor network storage, which will be equal to record product builder dot Can't you do I don't know. Instance dot group that, and then dot build of storages. We'll get a network of storages. So apply conveyor network storage new instance, comma, which it actually doesn't like because there's actually no constructor that does that. So I have to do it like that. Okay, but that's fine. I can do a codec here of a map, which will be this one, and then that just simplifies this down a little bit, so that's a little bit easier to read. Okay, so that's those two fixed. Now this needs to be map codec of conveyor storage, codec.create instance.group. Okay, that takes in a block pause, that takes in an int. I'm so confused, chat. What the hell is going on here? Unfortunately, we have actually ran out of time. But I do want to get this fixed because I'm a little bit lost. Okay, so that's that, and that's where that calls network storage, right? So I'm trying to see what. Bring this over to my own monitor so I can do a little comparison. Okay, public static final. Let's go literally word for word. Public static final map codec of conveyor network storage, conveyor storage, codec is equal to record codec builder. Oh, this needs to be map codec. Aha, gotcha. Same here. I knew something was off. I knew something was not correct there. Okay, so this is the progress. This is the local pause. Local pause. This is the position. Oh my god, I can't find position. And then this is the stack. This is the ID. Okay. That's fixed. That's fixed. Okay, we're making big progress here. So I mean, what is left now? Well, we have to handle the storage in here. Let me just open pipe block again. So in the block class, we want to have some kind of thing like this. So this will be a conveyor. Only problem is we don't have a network manager, but I guess that's just... That is the only thing. Because Because for the pipes, we have a pipe network manager, which kind of like manages every. Yeah, we actually do need that. Fudge, man. We do need that because that maps the. Yeah. That maps the. In the pipes, it maps the pipes position to the network UUIDs, which allows for a significantly faster lookup. So like we need that basically. Yeah, I mean that's fine. It shouldn't be. I don't think it'll be too hard to implement. This is the network manager. You know what, guys? We're just gonna keep going today. We're gonna keep going. We don't need to stop, so we're not gonna. So let's just get network manager. Because that is just going to be like we are just going to have a single network manager that will be like all that exists. Okay, now what's going to be in here? We're going to have a private, or I mean, it doesn't need to be protected. We can have it be protected, just because it makes things easier throughout these other classes sometimes. This will be a set of conveyor network, which will be the networks, which will be equal to concurrent hash map dot new key set, like that. And then we're going to want a protected final map of UUID, or no, block pause to a UUID, which will be the conveyor to network ID, and then we're going to want a way to create a network for an ID. So public conveyor network, create network UID, network ID, and that actually doesn't add it. Yeah, there's no point having that method actually. That only really existed for pipes because it needs to be abstracted out. Get networks. Okay, we're going to want a way to get a network from a UUID. So public conveyor network. Get network of UUID ID. So that streams, filters, find first or else no. Yep, that's fine. So this will be at nullable. We're going to have a public UUID to get network ID. And we're also going to need a way to get the network. Public. Get network at. So that get network ID. Okay. We're going to want add network and remove network, which I'm just going to copy paste those in. We actually can't copy paste those in, unfortunately. Public void add conveyor. Nice. We're gonna have public UID, remove conveyor, public boolean as conveyor, public void clear, public void tick, server level level networks.for for network and network.tick. Yeah, I'm going to copy the next two as well. So place pipe, this will obviously be place conveyor. And this will be, you know, I'm just going to copy the word conveyor and then on place conveyor. Okay. Yeah, I mean, basically the rest I can just copy across. It makes me a little bit tempted to actually just use the pipe network manager, because it does kind of do everything I want. Kind of. I mean, yeah, I actually kind of do want to do that. I'm going to extend Pipe Network Manager. And this will have to be... So S, I think, though, is the storage. That's the only problem. Is that right? The problem with that... Oh, I don't know. See... I'm just trying to think, because like the way it combines the storages. Okay, I have an idea actually. No, we can make this work. So S is the type of the storage. The only oh no, that's not gonna work because N needs to extend a pipe network. I don't want to do that. Okay, never mind. Let's not do that then. We're just gonna have to copy this and rewrite it to how we need it written. So okay, let's just find pipe and replace with conveyor. Replace all. And that'll be a very good start. N is going to need to be replaced with conveyor network. Like everywhere. So we'll quickly just do that. Some of this we're not going to need. Like some of this merging stuff we're not going to need, but we'll come back to them. We are going to need all these packets and stuff, but once again, we'll come back to them. Okay. Okay, so let's add some of the methods it's complaining about so that we can get rid of some errors. So sync and save. This will be level conveyor networks. Okay. Merge networks. I'm gonna copy this as well, but I'm not happy about it. I'm just gonna add all the other ones, but I'm not happy about it. We'll come back to it. Pipe, once again, I'm gonna replace that with conveyor. Okay, so So this needs to be conveyor network. Conveyor network. Conveyor network. Conveyor network. So I don't think this is what we don't want to do. We'll come back to it. I'm going to leave it for a second because I don't want to delete it and then find that we need it. This can be transfer type dot item. Okay. Flood fill is basically exactly the same. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Conveyor block. Instance of conveyor block. Yeah, just get rid of that part. Okay. Well, actually, I guess we want to do. Can we? Tags dot any match. Tag is equal to tag key. Tag init dot. No, where is it? Tag list dot blocks dot conveyors, I think. Conveyor network. Just dot conveyor to network ID. Okay, then I'm gonna find pipe lowercase p. Just replace that with conveyor. Okay. So now let's figure this out. So this is transfer type dot item, and this is just going to be a new conveyor network. I think I don't need. Also, that can be a var. Sometimes I do just forget to do that. That's fine. This can just be random UUID like that, and then that means I can just get rid of that. Okay. So add conveyor network dot get ID. How did that work before? Well, that's fine. I guess I can actually. I can just pass in a UUID, network ID, and then this can just call that. Makes that even simpler. Okay, so these are fine. This, and we just don't need that to be passed in whatsoever for any of these, so that's fine. We'll come back to those payloads in a second then. Same here as well. So those just don't need to be there. And same there. Okay, most of the errors do just seem to be that. Which is okay, if that's the case. This can once again just be a new conveyor network. We can do var, we can get rid of that. Network that has central storage. I think we just want to remove that. Handle storage. Okay. Transfer. Okay. We'll do that in a second. Is target of same type? So target is what? Well, target is obviously going to be. Okay. that's just not necessary. To do handle storage transfer. Okay. And then the only other one is contains conveyor, and also this one again. So we'll just quickly fix that one. Now contains conveyor, I don't know what that was. Was that just... I think that's has conveyor. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the rest I think is all just the payloads. So that's not too bad. We'll remove those imports and then we'll just go ahead and just create the classes. So, I mean, pretty much I can just copy them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do pipe as like a new subfolder. I don't know why I didn't do this originally. But I'm just going to move basically all of these pipe payloads into there. Check those and any others. Okay, and now I'm gonna basically create a new package which will be for conveyor. And I think just copy it across. Yeah, all but sync, so only these three actually. Add. Okay, and then we just want to rename these. So let's do rename. This will be add. No, let's refactor rename. This will be add conveyor network payload. This will be modify conveyor network payload. And this will be remove conveyor network payload. Let's go into these. Let's ditch the transfer type, and then let's also change the pipe network. So also rename world as well. So this will just be the conveyor network like that. This is going to be the level like that. Cancel. I just want to... Fine, we'll just do it that way. Doesn't really matter. That can go. That just needs to then be conveyor network, and that does need a stream codec. Oop. Conveyor as well. Okay, these are going to be a bit of a pain in the bum. So here we go. Okay. So modify conveyor, here we go. So modify conveyor. Okay, let's change this to be level. And operation, we'll change those in a second. So conveyor. Okay, get rid of that. That's level. Okay, and then we just need to rename these. So this, instead of add pipe, this will be add conveyor. Oops, not like that though. Conveyor. This will be remove conveyor. This will be... yeah, these are fine. Okay. And then this one. So this will be remove conveyor. We'll get rid of transfer type. We'll rename this to level. Boom, boom. Nice. Okay. So if we go into here now. Okay, this is going to be add conveyor. This is going to be remove conveyor. Okay, the other ones will be fine. Total conveyors apparently is not used. Yeah, it doesn't need to be used, I don't think. Well, we'll leave it for a second. We might need it in a second, so. Okay, we need a stream codec next. So let's do stream codec of conveyor network. Stream codec is equal stream codec. Think composite is the method. And then was set. Yeah, so if I do extra packet codecs, because I don't think I've renamed the class. Yeah, I haven't, which I should. Stream codecs. Okay, like that. Then network dot. I think that's fine. Oh, this needs to be. Not sure. I'm gonna have a look. I think it just needs to be a friendly fight bar. Apparently. Yeah, I think it just needs to be a friendly bite bar. I don't think it's anything special. Friendly bite bar. Okay, it doesn't like that. Not resolve symbol storage. Really? Really? Conveyor network. Can I not get the storage? Apparently I don't have a method to actually get the storage, interestingly enough. I probably should though, so get storage. Like that. And then this will be conveyor network. Colon get storage. Okay, this is complaining somehow. Like, what is happening here? Have I done something wrong again? Composite. So that's the constructor. That's the last one. That takes in that. Is this a... So that's just a byte buff. This might just need to be a byte buff then. No, it doesn't like that. Very suspicious. Bro, guys, I know you can't message, and there's nothing I can do about it. I literally already said this. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, bro, there's nothing. Literally nothing I can do. There's nothing on the dashboard. There's nothing. There's no settings. YouTube just doesn't have settings for this. So I don't know. Like, there isn't like, I mean, you guys can send emojis, you know. So I don't know. YouTube doesn't have like an emoji only mode. That's not a thing. So I don't know. Unless... Okay, actually, there is a possibility. 1 second. I don't think it is, but let me just check. I might possibly... Maybe? No. I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm looking on bot tricks, but there's nothing on there. Doesn't say anything. I don't think there's actually even an emote mode on bot tricks either. But it's not bot tricks, because if it's YouTube not letting you send them, then I don't know. I can send them. I don't know what to tell you guys. You know, let me try something. Let me switch to my alt and see if I can send them. That's what I should do. Okay, here we go. Nope, it goes through. I don't know what you guys are on about. I don't know what to tell you. It just works. So maybe you guys aren't subscribed. Maybe that's the clear thing, because you know you have to be a subscriber to comment. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so what is going on here? Stream codec, byte buff, conveyor network, stream control composer, UID, get ID. You know, do you want me to unmod you guys, or maybe see if that's the issue? They go wide. I've unmodded you. Can you type? Can you? There's no way that's the issue. That'd be the stupidest thing ever. That wouldn't even make sense. Yeah, I've unmodded you wide. See if you can send messages now. Okay, get ID. So that's a UID. That's a set of block pause. That's set of block pause. That's a conveyor network storage. Still can't send. Well, I don't even know then. I have no idea. Okay. And all conveyor. What the hell is going on? I feel like I'm losing my shit. What am I doing wrong here? That's so it's the codec and then the getter. Does one of these require so that's a byte buff. Oh, this is a codec. I can't believe it did this, bro. That's why it's not working, because that needs to be a stream codec. Okay, that makes sense. Stream codec of a friendly byte buff. I don't know if there's a way to do like oh, you guys can't see this, can you? I don't know if there's a way to do a stream codec map. I don't know if that's possible. Stream codecs, extra stream codecs. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it on the wiki. Registry dispatch. stream. Let's see if codecs. I don't know. But I think I am going to end the stream now anyways, guys, since no one can chat anyway. And I don't know how to create a map for a stream codec. So I will figure that out in between streams. I will be live. I've scheduled it for Railroad tomorrow. I might continue with Industria though. And just leave Railroad till Saturday. Not sure. I'll probably change my mind last minute. So, you know, it may be Railroad, it may be Industria. It will probably be Industria. I'm probably going to change to Industria because I'm not quite where I want to be with Railroad right now. So I doubt that will change by tomorrow because I'm going to be quite busy tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll see. Either way, I'm going to end the stream here. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all tomorrow. Good. Bye.